Just waiting for the room to move in a little bit. Thank you everybody for tuning in. Just bear with me. Oh man. Oh shit. Cat. Hi, Miss Goddess. Oh, thank you. I didn't even see that. Just making a couple announcements and I'm signing off. I ain't staying on too long today. You want to join? How does that work? New York. Thank you. Two to five. Happy Friday. Deadass. Thank you for the follow. I think there's enough people in. So those who I ain't seen nobody new that I know. I usually sign off around this time, so it is the first time I get on at this time. So everybody's brand new faces and names I've never seen. So I started a podcast about 2 weeks ago. Yeah. Dr. Close, right? So I started this podcast about 2 weeks ago, and I'm literally on episode 45 already. That's why I haven't been doing lives, and I know it's kind of a promise that I made to myself to stick it out for a whole year, every Friday. I missed about 3 of them now, 2 in total, last week and the week before that. And the consistency is that I'd rather focus my energy and attention and give my all to the podcast so that I don't have to come half-assed towards the podcast. But the thing is, I made a promise, right? So how do you balance when you made a promise to yourself, but yet you still being consistent, but you putting that energy towards something else, which is actually gonna beneficial towards everybody else who's tuning in, right? Because I don't want to be giving half of me and I'm not giving my undivided attention, fully focused. So put it like this. I started the podcast literally in September. We are now in October and I'm almost done by recording the whole year. 1 every week. Well, I definitely do. I'm always investing in myself. That's a given. That's a priority. That's a must. Energy poured back into me is the only thing I do now. It's not ever wasted. But if I do give a little bit of energy to anybody, how I feel about it is they needed that. Right? They needed that at the time. So I don't take anything personal. If you walked away with some of my energy, at the end of the day, what I really do is I call it back. Every night before I go to sleep, I call back all my energy that belongs to me, because that's mine. That's my divine right. That's my birthright. It belongs to me. But as far as hey Valerie, as far as the podcast go, there's one I just did this in particular episode today, and this episode was kind of like, do you ever see your children as your teachers? 1. 2, do you ever see your children as your personal healer? And what I mean by that is, a lot of our children will experience things that we experienced when we were kids. Some people were bullies, right? So your kid, let's just say you were bullied, because I wasn't. I was actually the one that fought the bullies. I faced those people's bullies because I didn't like that. But in a sense, I was a bully as well. And what I mean I was a bully was that I would go outside. Thank you for the follow. Whenever I would get my ass kicked at home, I would go outside and hit the first person I saw. It wasn't that I was bullying in particular, picking on someone. I just chose a target and took out my frustration on that individual at that time, in that moment. Was it fair? No. But that's something that you come into realization, right? So what I'm saying is, thank you for the follow. As far as your kid goes, they go through certain things. You become the aide that you never had. You become the superhero that you never had. You become the support you never had. You become the advisor you never had. You become everything that you needed, but you get to be pouring it back out into your own kid. Thank you for the follow. So for the very kid is actually getting to be supportive in reference to what you experienced, but you're doing it for them and you didn't have it. I try to, right? I try to give her the heads up. It's almost like giving the answers before they get to the question. And I feel like this too, though. They have to experience life on their own terms. And don't try to force the hand unless it's needed. For example, I had a friend of mine who called me last week. Her daughter was jumped, right? After they jumped her daughter, I told her, listen, calm down, find out what happened, go support your daughter. She did so. Come Monday, something happened. I don't know how to put it into terms because I don't want to expose people's information or situations. But what I told her was, when you was a kid, you never had no one there for you. You never had no one supporting you. You never had no one to protect you. You never had no one to advise you. You never had no one to listen to you and hear you out whenever it is that you went, the things that you went through. Thank you for the follow. So now you get to become that person that you always needed. You become the superhero in her story. Don't let her down. Don't fail her, but make sure that you're supportive of her through her whole journey, and do what you can. And they're going to reciprocate whatever it is that they're going to absorb out of that. But at the end of the day, are you being supportive to your child? And what I've been doing lately is I come out of work, go to the gym, come home, record one of the episodes, and then I'll go pick up my daughter. She gets out at 5:30. And I try to be present as much as I can so she could see my face, so she can be acknowledged around my energy, and she can absorb some of that, because at the end of the day, that's my offspring. My offspring is going to inherit anything that I pass on. I'm passing on the torch. So I'm trying to accomplish on my part, my end, to make sure that I don't pass down generational curses. And I'm trying to make sure that I don't repeat and it becomes repetitive of what I experienced that she has to go through. And there are certain things that she goes through, but I try to give her understanding, and she's kind of wise for a little 10-year-old. And I try to tell her, listen, that's just ignorance. Pay it no mind. Don't give nobody no energy. Generational curses is genetics. Damn right. Change isn't easy, but it's a must. Hey, mommy. Thank you for coming. I see you. I haven't heard from you. I hope everything's all right. Change isn't easy, but it's a must. I feel like you gotta put in that change, because if you don't, then when is it gonna happen? Right? Hi. Hope everything's good. Nana, little man. I know, I see. Thank you. You got to be the change, though, in order for change to happen, in order for change to take place. Thank you for the love. It comes with a lot of weight on your back, right? If you really think about it. It comes with a lot of pressure, but it's trying to figure out how not to repeat history. Definitely won't. And the thing is about life is most people think that it comes with a manual. There is no instruction book on how to raise a kid and how to be supportive to the kid and how to be there for the kid. When you're so busy caught up in trying to support for the kid, you're trying to provide and you're trying to be, it's just being present. And that's where I'm learning how to be present now. And chosen ones have it hard, right? Because they're the ones who are the pillars, who are the ones who are making a way where there's never been a way. Those are the ones who have it the hardest and difficult, because they have to figure out the path. Thank you. And I just wanted to touch on that real quick, because that's just a glimpse of what that episode is about. I don't want to get in too much into it, because then what's the point of listening to me now and listening to the episode in the podcast later? I swear this sounds be mad peaceful to me now. It's what I listen to now instead of rap music. Total 360 for me. But I feel so much peace. And I feel like the rap music for me, it takes me back to an old time of myself. Makes you sleepy? I think that's what it really is for me too, right? Like, just want to go to... I think that's why I started off. It's trying to stay up. Thank you for the love. Thank you for stopping by, mommy. And that's all I need. I need something to calm my spirit at all times in my mind, because my mind sometimes goes at 1,000. It's always trying to be creating. It's always trying to be, unquote, it's called creator mode. And I'm always trying to create something that's... Love you too, mommy. Thank you for stopping by. And just hit me up whenever you get a chance. I don't go by what society puts labels on people, because I feel like that's actually suppressing them. That's limiting people. But I understand what you mean. Society today tries to put labels on people so you can limit people. And the moment you start to limit people, it makes them feel inferior to others. Please don't take the pills. That shit is never gonna do you any justice. It's not gonna do you any good. It's I don't know if I can speak on that here. But put it like this. Society tries to tell you that you're dysfunctional. In reality, you're misinformed. Right? And when you're misinformed, it's because you've been in the dark. And when you've been in the dark, it's lack of knowledge. But when you come into the light is when you've been informed. That's when you become full of knowledge. But everything that all the answers that you need is found internally. All for the first time. Welcome. The society is dysfunctional. It's a freaking fact. There's so much going on right now, right? If you just think about that. I don't even want to get into topics and names, but you know, it's... And then they try to set the standard. Hello? They try to set the standard and they try to lead and guide people in a certain direction. And it's like, yo, how are you trying to guide people in a direction that's only going to lose people? But that's always because they think that, no, they want you to think. First of all, I remember reading in this one in particular book something about, it was a guy and he was not from here. He's not from the States. He was from, I think he was from UK. And he goes on to say is, the US has created the most powerful weapon, and it's not guns or missiles. And he goes on to say, the media, which is the news, is constantly pumping fear into people's mind. And if you could put fear in people's mind, it actually closes their heart and keeps them on fear mode, which actually accelerates all your body parts to be on fear mode, which is on defense mode. It's always being intense, anxiety, stress, and all of that shit just adds more to your everyday life. And that's how they manipulate, control, and mind control people to constantly live their life in fear. So if you constantly live in fear, you're always being intense. You're always intense is actually allowing, thank you, because it stresses it out so much more instead of being on relax. And that's just why I started switching up from rap music to this music. And in reality, they say that rap music are chants, and chants are it's like a spiritual warfare to be able to condition you, to manipulate you, to control you. And there are hidden messages in between the chants so that either will have you not ever find yourself. It's not that bad, but it's the messages behind it. They definitely don't ever want you to find your true self. It's all about finding your divine self, your true essence, your true power. You're unlocking the hidden mysteries that's found in your DNA. Hey, Sonia. It's unlocking your DNA and realizing who you truly are. Hey, true. But I stay away from it as much as possible now. I actually listen to these albums. They're called frequencies. 969 megahertz or something like that. I don't know how it's called. But I listen to these tones and frequencies and chants so that it can erase everything that's been programmed into my subconscious mind. Thank you. Definitely know your shit. definitely know your shit. It's true. I think I found my sound, but it's putting you to sleep. I'm putting my ass to sleep too, though. Yeah, so talking about that, I didn't know anything about the chakras until last year. That's the goal. It's actually to, so the way I imagine it, right? If I'm wrong, but the way I imagine it, and that's your space. You know, your absolutely agree to both. What I was trying to say is the chakras. When it comes to the chakra, you got your sacral. I forgot the base one's called. You have your heart, throat, crown, third eye, and I forget the other ones. I think it's 7 or 6 of them in total. But anyway, what I'm trying to say is each one unlocks some part of it. And I'm actually going to do one on the heart chakra, on how the heart actually is the feminine energy, 1. 2, how the heart is the one that calibrates all the hidden mysteries that are internally inside of us. And I still got to do more research to actually be able to speak on it. Hey, Jazz, to be able to speak on it in order to articulate and express it. I'm almost done. I don't want to stay on too long. I'm just basically speaking on, just to follow you up. Your kid, your child, because you have one. Ignorance is all. Well, that's because COVID got people on ignorance mode for a long time. I've been on for about a half. I believe it's been a half. Damn, this music just takes me away. Sorry. Focus. So that's going to be the next episode. I got to look into and do some more. Hi. Of course, that's what keeps me peace. Hello, Queen. Earth Star chakra is cool. Tell me more about the Earth Star. What's that supposed to be about? School me. Because I'm always going to be a student. I'm never going to say I know more than anybody else, because that's just ignorance. You just limit yourself when you do that. Woosahs definitely need to be done at all times. You know my temper. I'm going to start listening to this when I go to the gym. To be honest, I'm going to try this shit. Because I've noticed that every time I put the rap music on and I see someone doing some ignorant shit, it's coming actually. I noticed that every time. Also, it's the base, and it connects you to the Mother Earth, and that's actually what keeps you grounded. I know what you're talking about now. Yeah, there's two sides of me, all right. That's the intention behind the music in the background. Yes, I remember. I know what you're talking about. It's Dragon Ball Z, I believe. I don't remember, but it's the Asian kid, and he has the imprint on his forehead. That's all I know. I seen what you're talking about, and he goes through each one, starting from the base up to the crown, and explains, I guess, the water part and the air and earth, fire. So in reference to the rap music, let me just finish talking about that real quick. I noticed that every time I'm listening to the rap music, especially if it's on a hardcore individual, and I see somebody do some dumb shit in the gym, my aggressiveness naturally have this demeanor that's aggressive. I've been told that when I speak to someone and I'm not upset, I'm just speaking to be heard, they feel intimidated behind it. That's not my fault that I've went through whatever trauma that I went through and experience that has me on not anger mode, but it's more like, if I have to, I'm gonna rip your neck off, your head off your neck. But that's not the intention and motive. Like, I go outside and that's what I'm gonna do. I did that as a kid. I don't do that as an adult. I go to the gym to take out all my aggression, all my stress, all my everything. I leave it in the gym. I'm trying to figure that one out. Right? Because I remember hearing this guy that I listened to, and a lady called in and asked him, what would you say is wrong with me if she was dating a guy who had a 7 or 8-year-old little girl, but the father allowed the little girl to get away with murder. She got away with everything. So she felt like telling the father, like, why you allow her to get away with everything? That's not fair. You should be, disciplining her, reprimanding her, punishing her, etc. The guy she called in to tell this to says, why are you jealous of her, though? And she confessed that she's jealous of the little girl. And she goes, I don't know. I just am. Rewind to what the interviewer guy says to her. He goes, you know why? She's like, no, I don't know why. The interviewer guy goes, that's because when you was a kid, you were reprimanded and punished every time you did something wrong. But you're jealous because you're seeing that she's being allowed to get away with it, but you are upset because you didn't get away with it. So you envy her at the moment because when you was a child, you didn't get away with it. So now you see someone else not being reprimanded, it makes you feel some type of way, and anger and jealous in reference to a little girl. No, the little girl becomes her lesson. Oh, she made it when it's almost over. So, yes, you got it. That's how she was treated, that's how she was raised, and if no one's in character. And I noticed this when I was a whole lot. One, my temper. You should know about that. 2, the podcast. Yeah, you see the peace sign, right? No, I have a short temper. And the reason why I get to the short temper is because I have no patience. And I'm learning how to have patience in order to She's in California though. I'm learning to have patience so that I'm not losing my temper. But the thing is, what I've researched is anger is technically is something that is from a wound and you're constantly trying to protect it. Yes. My trigger? Ignorance. I don't know what the trigger is. I just know that my patience triggers me into my losing my temper. What causes it is always in the gym, and it's only in the gym. And I went to the gym for 13 years, and the environment was crazy intense. Nah, I don't have an ego. I killed that ego a long time ago. Yes, you did say that before. Definitely need to leave that gym, but I think it'll be the same thing. No, to be honest with you. Yeah, I'm gonna get some yoga pants while I'm at it too. Blink, where all the amateurs go, and I don't have no patience for amateurs. And that's where I lose my patience, where it triggers me to not an ego, it's more like just aggression. And I lose my patience. And I have none. No, ego is more like, I think I'm better than you. I'm not better than anybody. Work out with you, you'd be dead by the end of the day. I don't know. I put a lot of weight on it. A lot of times. I like to challenge myself in the sense of I doubt when I'm putting the weight on, and when I get under the bar, I tell myself, you built different. You cut from a different cloth. You're going to doubt yourself for all these years that you've been doing this? Now you want to doubt? It's time to put in that work. And I just switch this mode, this mental mentality, and I just go hard on it. And I don't allow myself to talk myself out of it. And then there are times that I have, that's the ego part. Then there are times where I allow myself to be like, nah, not today. I love him. TT Fletcher's my man. He's kind of the one who kind of guided me. I listened to him for about 4 years straight. And I would listen to him and watch him over and over and over again. And one of the stories that stuck out to me about CT is when the doctor told him that if he goes under the weight, he's going to die. And he still went and continued to work out. So I always go by, the doctor is not always right. One, the doctor doesn't know everything. He's going off of thesis and theory and research. Every individual is different. 3, I believe that it's all about the mentality. If you can convince yourself that you can, you will. They're like mechanics, but they don't know everything. But the that's the principles that I go by when it comes to the gym. So that CT was a big influence for me in the beginning of my stages when he first started coming out. That you definitely 100 on that, right? They tell you one thing and in reality is they tell you something else, but they never actually fix the thing that's actually broken per se. I just want to be in the woods right now, listening to this music and just space out. Eat like some psychedelics and see what the hell happens. And maybe I can face the ego that you're talking about. Am I reading a book? Currently, I'm reading this book called The Light Work. It's more than an ego. Christy. I gotta keep looking into it now. We will. Why they always say 5 grams though? And that workout challenge, you're gonna get and that's what Jasmine was talking about. Don't let the train interrupt the live. Told you, Jazz, if she's in there, because that would take you somewhere. Have you done it before? Yes, I am. Literally about 2 stops away. Follow the live. Thank you for the follow. If that was a follow. Next week, no. Monday, the one I'm dropping on the podcast is about relationships. Yeah. You've done the ceremony? By accident. How you accidentally take 5 grams? My mom said she did ayahuasca in Miami, right? Now I'm in Brooklyn. My mom said she did ayahuasca. Check this story out. And I keep asking her, yo, you want to come with me? I said, you want to come with me? She's like, nah. I know it is for a few. Yeah, no, scared. You got to figure it out. I want to go to the one. I think it is Peru. I'm not sure. Or no, it's Costa Rica, and it's called Reunion. But my mom did it like with the 5 gram thing story. They didn't have a scale. She kind of did the ayahuasca like that, and she said never again. That's where it was originated from? I didn't know that. I thought it was... I know it's from this... one of those middle countries. I just didn't know which one exactly. I know the Aztecs are definitely down with that. I was just in Colombia in excuse me, in March. South America's for sure. I need to go. Like, I want to do that this... Yeah, I got mine. I was just in Colombia. In March. I want to go back. But I don't want to go into no Amazon. I want to go into... I saw a retreat that I want to go to as well. Okay, what's a passport? I have a passport. Bye, Jazz. Thank you for stopping by. And God bless. You want me to do that right now? Can't do that right now. But I definitely will. Hi. Modern day passport, boy. I'll look it up. You've done the mushroom medicine before. And how many ceremonies have you done? See, that's like a thing in Texas, right? Because that Danny Morell guy, he talks about it frequently, and he's from Texas. He lives in Texas. So I'm not sure if that's a... I'll look it up. Oh shit, I stood on longer than I expected. I'm about to boogie. I gotta get out. If I've done a few with mine, like in the privacy of a home or like in a center. Anxious as in stress? No. Damn. So it's in the privacy of the home. Now, how does that play out? Talk about your behavior. I got a therapist now. I'm gonna call you up. Tell me what's my problem. Have a good one. Thank you for stopping by, Iris. I'm about to cut off anyway. Cynthia, how do you, like, I'll talk to you in private. Appreciate that. Thank you. Thank you. We gather monthly women, but to balance masculine and feminine energy. Thank you for the gifts. Don't be. That conversation will never end. Listen. Thank you for stopping by, Iris. Appreciate it. As far as that ceremony goes, so it's just a few women, and no wonder that you're so aware. Now it explains a lot. Okay. And I have an ego. But I killed it. And that was only part of it, I guess. There's still more to kill. Fuck. Just when you think you're done with one thing, another thing comes and pops up on you. Oh, God. Always be with us. Yeah, I'm trying to. There are times where I'm capable of controlling that thing from losing my patience, and there are times that I can't. Like, I just allow it to just let loose. Have fun. Have a great day. It's 4:30. Yeah, I'm gonna cut out. This week's podcast is about relationships. The one prior, last week's was this Monday that just passed, was about manifestation. The one before that is about you are light. You are light and love. But anyway, get a chance to look up Mastermind. It's there on your Apple Podcasts if you are curious. But thank you for everybody that stopped by. Thank you for everybody that just tuned in. Thank you for the follows. Thank you for everybody that participated. Appreciate y'all. And catch you on the next one. Have a good weekend.